allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. All right, Matt, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bliss.
Here.
Councilmember Kipp.
Present.
Councilmember Hill.
Here.
Mayor Hansen.
Here.
Councilmember Gilmore is absent tonight.
All right. We'll move on to approving tonight's agenda. To call on Matt to request an addition to the consent agenda for a letter of credit reduction for Bayhaven from Pratt Homes. And then we're gonna get approval of the agenda with that.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This would be item number 13 on the consent agenda. This is a letter of credit reduction. If you'll recall, any developer in the city has to put up a letter of credit, which essentially is a money set aside in case they skip town, and the city has to finish the project as a whole. So they're required to estimate what the cost is for items like streets, water mains, sewer mains, storm sewer, landscaping, street lights, items in that realm. So they're required to submit a formal letter indicating how much they believe the reduction should be, which is attached, and then our city engineer reviews that and determines an actual amount that we calculated to provide back. So in this case, they're asking for 75% reduction. Our calculation is a 55% reduction. So the remaining letter of credit needs to be $1,282,263. So that can be the motion included in the consent agenda. So,
Okay. Sounds good.
any questions on that?
No, thank
So
you.
55 is the number for item 13.
55% reduction. Yep.
Yeah, and
Or-
I'll
Not a
read that.
55% reduction. Reduction to 55% of the original letter of credit.
Can I just say the letter of credit reduction as outlined by Matt?
As outlined in the SEH memo.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So, do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I move to
overall?
approve the agenda.
Okay. Thanks, Katie.
Second.
All right, thanks, Warren. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Agenda is approved. There are no proclamations, commendations, petitions, or announcements. And there's nobody here from the public, so we'll skip past the open forum. And I will read the consent agenda. I'm going to consider a resolution adopting items 1 through 13 now. The July 13th Joint Planning Commission and City Council meeting minutes, the July 13th City Council regular meeting minutes, and the July 13th Joint Library Board and City Council workshop minutes, July payables and receipts, July building, plumbing, mechanical, and zoning permits report, the special event application from Not Just a Bar and Cafe for a customer appreciation party on August 15th, Phase 1 of the supervisory control and data acquisition upgrade project for the city's utility system, renewal of ESP Omnia One software for the fire department, so we get all the cool charts. Pay application number 1 from Miller Excavating for the 5th Avenue North Safe Routes to School Sidewalk project. Fill and seal an abandoned city well near Lakeside Park. And solicit bids for the 2026 sanitary sewer lining project. Amendment to joint powers agreement with Washington County Sheriff's Office and Records Management System data sharing, and then the new letter of credit reduction as outlined in the SEH memo. Do I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I move to adopt a resolution approving the consent agenda.
All right.
Second.
Thanks, Orin and Carl. Roll call.
Councilmember Bliss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kipp.
Aye.
Councilmember Hill.
Aye.
Mayor Hansen.
Aye. Consent agenda passes. No public hearings, so we move on to unfinished business. considering an amendment to Appendix B, zoning, the Bayport City Code of Ordinances to adopt regulations for bed and breakfast residences and the summary for publication. So this is Sarah.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, on July 13th, the Planning Commission and City Council held a public hearing at a joint meeting to consider adoption of an ordinance to regulate bed and breakfast residences. At the hearing, no public comments were received. Per discussion at the meeting, staff has made final edits to the ordinance, which are attached for consideration. I'm happy to go through these. Otherwise, if you want to just ask questions or need clarification, I'm happy to address that.
Did everyone have a chance to look through she did a good job
Yeah,
of
she
showing
did.
us what
Yep.
she changed, and it seemed to be in line with what we had discussed, so
Yep.
thank you, Sarah. Nice job.
You're welcome.
Does anyone have any other questions or comments about it? All right, look at that. A motion could be done then, right?
So I'll move to adopt an amendment to Appendix B of the zoning of Bayport City Code of Ordinances to adopt regulations for bed and breakfast residences.
Thanks, Oren.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Katie. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Bliss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kipp.
Aye.
Councilmember Hill.
Aye.
Mayor Hansen.
Aye. Okay, so we don't have to mention in the motion about the publication, right? It just happens when you do it. Okay, great. Under new business, we're going to consider amendments to Appendix D, the fee schedule of the Bayport City Code of Ordinances and summary for publication. So Matt's going to do this.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, normally we do, if you recall, the fee schedule once a year. We try not to change it all too often, but with the bed and breakfast ordinance, we included changes to that, not changes, actually additions to that, and then put it out there to the department heads on anything else that should get changed. So you'll see at the top, most of them, well, all of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them relate to bed and breakfast inspections, applications, violations, items like that. Then we also added a copy for audio, video, media. This relates to data requests. If they are asking for anything to copy it to, and they don't have it or haven't provided it. And then we took the opportunity and utilities to add and change a couple of line items. Mostly the sewer lateral lining permit, we did not have one, and we kind of want to keep track of those. And then the water rates for hydrant metering, we didn't have enough of a deposit there. Actually, we didn't have any deposit or rental per day. So we don't expect many of those, but currently the school is using 4 hydrant meters, I believe. So there'll be a cost for them. And then the radio transponder is just the radio that we have on the side of the house. We're seeing those costs increase, and we're seeing more people replacing siding, and the siders tend to just throw that stuff away.
Oh, nice of them.
Yeah, not cool. So now the front office staff tries to do their best to say, oh, you're residing your house, make sure you call the water utility. So those are the items for changes in the fee schedule.
Okay, can you explain more about the meter on the hydrant thing with the school? Can we, they've been using some kind of meter on a hydrant because they're using water,
Correct.
and we didn't have a system for charging them for that?
So not the system that we currently set up. We are still charging them, but some of the things that we're changing is a deposit that's required just in case they break the meter, right? We don't have this issue necessarily with the school because we're out there all the time and kind of monitoring that. But and then also we now have a line item in case they do break the hydrant meter. There's a cost incurred plus 20%.
Okay, so we didn't change my iPad did not get
Oh, yeah,
charged,
yeah.
so I can't pull it
Yeah,
up
we're
again
not-
to look at it, but
We're
we're
still
not
charging them.
Okay,
Kind of like mostly what we had in there is it's the same cost as what we charge a commercial. So
okay, but we didn't, I just want to make sure that when they signed up to get these meters, we didn't then now change the
No,
price
that won't
on
change.
them. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, we didn't change anything on them.
Okay,
So,
good. All right, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments about the change to the fee schedule? Okay,
I move to adopt an amendment for Appendix B, fee sheet of the Bayport City Code of Ordinance as presented.
thanks, Katie.
Second.
Thanks, Carl. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bliss,
Aye.
Councilmember Kip,
Aye.
Councilmember Hill,
Aye.
Mayor Hanson.
Aye. Motion passes. City Council liaison reports. Katie, do you want to start?
Yeah, so I had BCAL meeting. They went, all they went over was donation letters and where they're sending them to, who's doing what sending.
Like
and-
requesting
Yeah,
donations?
yep. So if you would like to donate, you can reach out. Otherwise, a lot of the businesses already received them now around Bayport and then some outside of Bayport too.
Because they're kind of like sponsorship
Yes. yep,
opportunities in a sense, like if you want to sponsor the band, or if you want to sponsor the duck derby.
On like they put it on a little big old poster board thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
awesome.
That's what we talked about the whole time.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks.
Watershed did not meet,
Okay,
so I have nothing for you.
all right. You're really making this a quick meeting.
Yeah.
aren't you?
Airport Advisory Commission meets August 24th, so I'll have something next time finally.
Okay, all right.
And then I had a chance to meet with Matt and the mayor to talk through communications. What's been one of our council goals for the last year and a half, I think. So we walked through, kind of talked through just, nice.
This, I brought it.
a communication strategy. So
Multi-page communication strategy that Carl put together for us.
mayor had some good feedback that I'll incorporate into it, and I'll probably talk about it at some point in the next month or two as a council.
Awesome.
Yeah, I brought it just for the visual aid.
Thank
I
you.
was going to talk
Thanks.
about it. No. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, and thank you for all the work that you put into it. Carl did an awesome job, and we will share all this with you guys eventually. And when we get to something that's a little more
Presentable.
presentable. No, it was good. It was already presentable. But you had a lot of like questions in there and things
Yep.
that we were able to answer. So, all right. So let's see. On the 14th, I went and stopped at Safety Camp just for the fun of it and got to see the kids in a little snake presentation. If you sit by Brittany at any kind of animal presentation, it's kind of fun because she's in love with every little critter that comes by. And I'm like, ooh, do I have to touch the snake? And it was fun to watch the kids. So thank you, Brittany and Officer Lepowski, I should call her probably, and all the everyone at the PD and the reserves. Everyone was there. I got to meet our new reserves too, so that was great. I'm glad I stopped in. July 15th was the fire advisory board meeting, probably the quickest one we've ever had, which is good because we all came to an agreement that basically a service contract is the best way to go for all the partners and us, versus like a joint powers agreement or a fire district. We learned a lot about how all those different things work, and our partners were all, they need to still go back to their councils just for confirmation, it sounds like, or at least Oak Park Heights for sure. Just to confirm that, but sounds like we're just going to be now spending some time figuring out what our new service contract's going to look like. And Matt's got to put a bunch of data together to do that first. So, and then met with Carl. Let's see. Oh, I got to walk in the Lumberjack Days Parade, carried the banner for the Chamber of Commerce. So I was right up in the front pretty much. And we were both laughing because it says parade on it, and that's what I carried. So it was fun to see people waving. There was Bayport people there, like Wally, who owns Mabel's. Library board met on the 21st. She does a nice job summarizing everything for us in her packet, so there isn't a lot to tell you other than I'm excited to see what's happening in the basement with the improvements to where the nonfiction is. That's already painted blue down there, and they're going to get carpet. They're going to move all the shelving to the edges so that there can be more open space for like people to have a table, and so that should be done soon. It sounds like I think she was just waiting for the shelving to come so then they could do the carpet and everything all at once. did a chamber ambassador meeting on the 28th, but the big news there is that we're hosting a coffee talk here at the city hall in the chambers on Wednesday, 7:30 to 9, and everyone is invited. You just have to register online on the chamber website, and it would be great. I know it's like a really early morning thing, and you guys probably have work and things to do, but if you can come in, that would be great. At 8 o'clock, we'll do a networking thing where you stand in a circle and you get to say, I'm Lauren Kipp and I'm the newest council member, or whatever you want to say. And so I'm hoping to get the local businesses and whoever and department heads who can make it. I know Jay's out of town, but so that'll be a fun event where you get to finally be a host and show off our city and our wonderful staff. So, and then the nice new comfortable decor we have at City Hall that staff worked hard on. So I did get a chance to go to the workshop on the water event, I guess we'll call it, on the 30th. And Carl was going to come, but he had to miss it. But it was packed. So I didn't realize it was Wisconsin and Minnesota. So they had a lot of people on the boat. Good. Yeah, it was good. We learned about algae blooms that are harmful versus not harmful, benefits of some of the aquatic plants that are in, for us, I mean, I was thinking about the river, but for other people, lakes too. How they've brought trout back to the Browns Creek. It's been quite a project, how they're slowly making their way. And they actually, this was really interesting. They used the buckthorn that had been growing along the side of the creek, and they cut it, and then they used it as like stabilization for the side of the creek. And then they didn't have to bring any unnatural things in there. Yeah, isn't that cool? So I learned that that's possible. We learned about ash tree management and that there's a new grant out there from the state. We already got a grant a while back, but so I gave Matt that and he said, oh yeah, I already knew about that, of course. But so hopefully we can see if we can get more money, because there are still, I saw we were working on taking more trees down. And then something about wake boats and ordinances that you could write about wake boats because they do a lot of damage. So those were the little, we had like they call it, what was that? Speed dating. Yeah, so we jumped around, but so that was fun and informative. And then today I went down to the old, where the Cummins Law office was in the Bay, with Bay Dental, and I met the woman who owns the new acupuncture center that's in the basement. She's done a lovely job of remodeling, or like decorating, because I think Joe like repainted the floors. So it's a beautiful space, and she's got a little sidewalk sign outside, and it says, come in and say hi if you can. And so she's very welcoming, and she's excited to be in Bayport. She's already got a pretty nice customer base, and she's always done by like 4 o'clock, so it's not interfering with the restaurant traffic. And so I think it's going to be a really nice fit there. So I gave her the welcome packet. Thank you, city staff, for putting those welcome packets together for me. She was very excited about that. And she said, oh, I'm going to leave this newsletter out on my table for people to read. Nice. And then when I was leaving there, Riley from Olio was outside. And so I'm like, hi, Riley. And she started talking to me. So I walked across the street, and we were talking about, I don't know if you've heard, but the tree in front of Olio has to be cut down. I know. So the county is doing this because it's a county road, and the sidewalk is all bad, and it blocks the ADA. You can't like walk through there and all that. So I was talking to her about the tree. I'm like, how are you feeling about it? Where are you going to put your nice lights? Because she wrapped lights. And then the county guy drives up while we're standing there talking. Isn't that crazy? To talk about the tree. Yeah. So I got to hear what the county guy said about the tree. And it sounds like they're going to take at least 6 of the concrete panels out, replace it, take the tree down. It'll be a nice open space. So hopefully she'll get a little more patio space. But anyways, so that was just a really kind of ironic. And then I was walking back to my car, and I saw the guy that's renting the old JR Transmission garage part, not the little office space where Brennan is. So I got to meet him too. So it was quite a fun mayor morning for me. Day. Yes, it was. So his name is Ben Adams, and he comes from, he had a place called Manning Auto Care up on, kind of like, he said like Lake Elmo Boulevard, like where the new, what's it called?
Ramp.
Yeah, the new
Gonna go-
interchange is gonna be, yeah, the new overpass. It was kind of in that area, and he's very excited to have this like street front view, like people driving by and seeing that he is. So he's working on sign with Sarah, he said, and so it's fun to have all these new businesses coming in. So that was it, and then we just all got done with a school tour, which was amazing. I was like, I didn't expect it to be as cool as it is. I knew it was gonna be nice, but wait till, they're gonna have family night
September 1st.
no, next week is like family night, and then September 1st is the ribbon cutting.
Yep.
Yeah, so some more events coming up, but yeah, so that's enough of me talking. Now staff can talk.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Sergeant Slinger.
Oh, boy. Such a crowd here, it's very intimidating.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, I stand in Jay's absence as he's on vacation. A few things this past month. Mayor already mentioned we had safety camp earlier this month. It was a great turnout. Kids had a lot of fun. Our reserves and our officers had a lot of fun. It's always a real fun time for all of us. And as always, Officer Popowski did a great job planning everything. And then another new development for our departments. As you probably recall, there was a pretty hefty bill a few months ago for a new squad build. We just took delivery of that this last week. It is a gorgeous squad car, and we're very excited to have it. It replaced our 2017 Ford Explorer that was beyond its last leg. So it was much needed update and improvements. And then you also mentioned 19 night is coming up tomorrow. We're pretty excited about that. We've got free food, free raffle at the end of the night. We got horses, llamas, State Patrol helicopters coming out. So it's gonna be fun.
Prizes,
Prizes, yep.
raffle drawing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I've got for you. I
So-
stand for questions.
Do you get to share the new vehicle, or how does it work?
So it's primarily gonna be for our day squad officer, or for our day officers.
Okay,
So typically we have one night squad, one day squad, and then a power shift squad. Right now, at least for this year, Officer Teskey and Officer Lepowski are kind of primarily switching back and forth with the Tahoe.
oh, nice.
And then the rest of us use it, as augmentations in the schedule and as needed.
Okay, great. You did a great job, thanks. Anyone have questions for Sergeant Slinger? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Fire Chief Kenny.
Good afternoon. Madam Mayor, City Council, City Staff. Not a whole lot to report on our calls. As you can see in the agenda, nothing's changed since then. The only way that it changes is if we have somebody add in the calls into the image trend, and nobody did. So I don't have a 100% up-to-date number for you, but 112 is pretty close to what we had for the month. With everything else, we have 2 people moving on in the paid-on-call hiring process. So they're in the middle of doing their background stuff with the police department. I had 3 people at the county fair ask me about hiring and potentially what we might and when we might hire again. So I have my email and cards out to them. So looking forward to having them reach out. With that, this past weekend was the Washington County Fair. It was a big undertaking, went off very well. A couple minor calls, a couple heat-related incidences, but everything else was very minor on the medical fire side of it. I guess I am now part of the County Fire Rescue Dive team that is throughout the county. So there's a whole bunch of different departments that have divers that are part of it. So whenever somebody decides they either fall out of a boat or anything else like that happens and they go underwater, then the County Fire Dive Rescue Team gets activated. So we cover everywhere from all the way up through Marine, all the way down past, down to, I believe, pretty close to where the Mississippi and St. Croix come together. So we own all this and then all the little lakes and everything in between. So
Wow.
yeah, it's a very big, very good group to be part of. We had a meeting for our Lexipol kickoff that we got, which if you don't know what Lexipol is, that is going to be our new SOP and SOG program to build out and add and create new policies for the department. And I'm also now part of the St. Croix County Fire Chiefs. So I now go to their meetings as well, since we play with them and they play with us. So that way I get to know what they're doing and how that's all integrating, and they get to know what we're doing. So
I love that.
that's all I have. You guys have any questions? You have a question. You always have a question.
Do you know my friend Claudia? No, I'm just kidding. Someone came to me and said, "Oh, I heard you're Chief Kinney and blah blah." She was, anyways, yeah, you're well known.
Oh, that's not
From,
good.
yeah,
Famous or infamous? I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
which
That's
one
a
it is.
good point. No, very exciting about the new paid on call firefighters starting or getting trained. Hopefully, they pass the background check and it all works out, and people
agree.
are excited to do that. So that's good.
And I hope to work with Matt to maybe, if we do have that much interest, maybe potentially do another process towards the end of the year so we can get pretty close to being filled up and then send everybody to the academy starting in the springtime.
I actually have a little slideshow that's going to run during the coffee talk that I made about Bayport, and on the fire department slide I put like, join
Perfect.
us. Okay,
I'm
so
always
just in case anyone's like in the back of their mind, I always thought I could be a firefighter, then hopefully they reach out. Okay,
I'm all about it.
double check. that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks, Chief. Public Works Director Hanson.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Public Works has continued to make good progress on a few of our projects around town. Our contractor submitted permits for the replacement of the roof at Well 3. That work will be started as soon as we get those permits back. And secondly, Fifth Avenue Safe Routes to School project is well underway. We have 3 of the 4 hydrants that had to get moved out of the sidewalk. Last one will be moved tomorrow. Within this project, we found several valves that were on Fifth Avenue that needed to be replaced as a part of this because they started leaking as we were turning the water on and off for those. The foundation for the retaining wall is scheduled to be poured tomorrow morning. Then they'll start building that retaining wall up, and after that, build that wall and then start with the grading for the sidewalk. Tentatively, they're looking at starting to pour the concrete for the new sidewalk early next week. With that, I stand for questions.
Any questions? No. All right.
Assistant Administrator Taylor.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, planning and preparation for the 2026 election season continues. Staff conducted a preliminary accuracy test of the election equipment on July 21st and a second test for the public on July 29th. I'm happy to report that both tests were 100% accurate and the equipment performed as it should. Training for election staff is also in process and will be completed by the end of the week. Just a reminder, the primary election will be held on August 11th and all residents vote at the new fire hall. The next edition of the city newsletter is in process, slated for distribution in early September. This edition will include information on the November 3rd election, which is when our mayor and 2 council seats will be up for election. Also the upcoming curbside mattress pickup event, a QR code to sign up for email updates on the city's website, Derby Days, and other upcoming community programs and events. And then finally, on tonight's agenda, we talked about 2 ordinance updates. One is to adopt the new bed and breakfast ordinance, which passed, updates to the city's fee schedule, and then finally, I'm still continuing to work on the liquor license ordinance and application process to streamline that. I think that's all I have for tonight. I'll stand for questions.
Thanks, Sarah. All right.
All right, one final report, Madam Mayor, members of the council. So just a couple of items. The 2027 budget, preliminary budget continues to be put together. We'll have a workshop here with the budget committee, hopefully sometime in August. And then unfortunately, we'll probably have to have a workshop with the council at the end of August. So I'll be sending out kind of a calendar ask here probably this week, just to verify your availability. Our September meeting got pushed to September 14th, and that's just way too tight a timeline to come up with a final budget. So that'll be occurring soon. And then the Stillwater Correctional Facility decommissioning study is getting finalized. They've asked us, and you were included, to create a memo that includes kind of specific and generalized priorities that staff and the council feel necessary during the prison closure process. So that memo went out to all council members. I did not receive any feedback on any changes that were required there. So this week that will go out to Kimberly Sambolt, who is the contractor completing the decommissioning study. I will say that Josiah Hill has reached out to the mayor and myself regarding potential bonding items that he's seeking from the city, and so that will probably be discussion shortly. We hear with him because most of the memo included potential bonding items in there, or asks that we're seeking. So with that, I will stand for questions.
No questions. Thanks, Matt. I guess I didn't say thanks, Joe, when you were done, but thank you, and thanks for all. I know you're out there working hard in the hot sun with everybody doing everything out there. And I just wanted to clarify, because we talk about wells and nobody knows what, you might know what well number 3 is, but that's the one in the Village Green. So I would say, when you say a well number, you have to say where it is, because I can't keep track of where they are, but it's getting a new roof there. And we also are, at least I've been talking about it, trying to do something to kind of beautify the well building, because the doors are rusty, and now it's, you know, our farmer's market is there and all that. So
yes, we're still working on that aspect. After the structural things get done, we'll move on to door replacements, painting, and correcting some of the less sightly things on the building.
yeah, and we were even maybe going to camouflage it a little with some bushes or things like that. So, because it's just right out there. So, especially now if we open up, when we get the school playground area opened up with the fence. So, all right. Anyone have any other items or announcements? All right. Well, let's take a motion to adjourn. Anyone else?
Move to adjourn.
Thanks, Carl.
I second.
Thanks, Katie. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned. We're keeping them about 45 minutes or less.